In urban areas, the streets have become the canvases for many artists over the last few decades. Although graffiti has been found on the walls as old as the Roman Empire, street art has taken hold in many cities across the world. And the materials used are no longer just the freehand aerosol spray paint cans. Sometimes seen as vandalism, sometimes seen as a way to raise awareness of social or political issues, and oftentimes used as a means of commercial advertising, street art can be seen in many venues. Whether you find this art at sanctioned events and art festivals, or as you turn the corner as you walk down the street, talent can be found in the most surprising places. Where does the artist begin his journey of great works of art? Perhaps it started with a box of chalk, a blank driveway or sidewalk as your canvas, and nothing but time to be creative and no one, besides your mother, to judge your talent. The seeds of creativity were planted. A few years later, there was a local art festival advertising a prize for the best sidewalk chalk drawing in your age category. This local event allows you to showcase your talents and nourish your creative soul. You had so much fun the first time, and maybe even won the prize, that you continue to enter contests. Your dedication to your artistic craft blossoms into talent that people admire. They stop and look at your masterpiece, and you hear them say, "Wow, that's really good." You beam with pride on the inside. You can't contain your enthusiasm, and your projects become more grandiose, and your only limitation is the size of your canvas. This is one scenario, but there are many stories that could be told. One such master street artist is Edgar Mueller. Born in Mülheim in the western part of Germany, this 45-year-old street artist has loved painting since he was a child. Initially, his paintings were of the paper and paint variety, and the subject was usually of the countryside near his home. It's very common in European cities to see street artists set up on the sidewalk with a hat flipped over, hoping to collect a few coins to be able to buy that morning coffee or to get the last few dollars necessary to pay the rent. After walking by other street artists at the age of 15, Edgar Mueller decided to enter a street art competition at 16. Although he didn't win the first competition, 5 years later he did win. He continued to enter contests as a sideline, but at the age of 25 he decided to make this his full-time career. He followed the mantra, "Do what you love and the money will follow." When he was 30 years old, he earned the title Maestro Madonnari, Master Street Painter, from the Grazie Art Festival in Italy. But how did he get to be so good? He attended art courses, some with well-known artists, but mostly he's autodidactic, that is to say, self-taught. His parents sent him to art classes, but like many teenagers, he didn't like to be told what to do and how to do it. For many years, he made perfect replicas of the old masters and imitated their style. In doing this, he taught himself the techniques that were necessary to achieve the 3D look, the type of painting that you feel you could be a part of. Some people call his style 3D art. He sees it as transitory art. It's ephemeral or short-lived, at the mercy of the elements and the weather. He paints in large urban areas where those who pass by can not only be fooled by what they see, but they can also become a part of the painting and have a fun photo opportunity. His artwork is easily accessible. There are no museum entrance fees to see his work. You don't have to speak in hushed tones. He said,
"Memories or not, but they are created with time that we spend with our family and loved ones. So please come spend time with us and bring the children. All can step into my painting for a photo. You can download pictures from my website. It is free of charge. No child will be left behind."
He believes in making every life experience a learning experience. Not all learning has to be done in the confines of the four walls of a classroom.
I am quite certain that every experience, every step you make by your own, is more productive than the teachings of 100 art teachers.
His talent and reputation have allowed him to be invited to street festivals around the world, from his native Germany to Russia to England, and also in the United States. His street art has amazed people around the globe. When asked where he finds his inspiration, he says that he takes a walk in nature. On that walk, he observes the beauty around him and asks himself soul-searching questions such as, why am I here on this earth? Is time linear? Do I believe in God? The answers to such questions might be able to be seen in his work. Edgar Mueller is always learning new techniques. At the 2010 Sarasota Chalk Festival, together with a 35-year-old Italian street artist, Vera Bugatti, he created a painting that underwent a metamorphosis. Using photoluminescent paints, the 100-foot by 40-foot piece displays the image of a boxer during the day, but a fetus in the womb at night. But the techniques to achieve that feeling that you could become part of the paintings are not new. 17th century artists such as Fra Andrea Pozzo painted an illusionistic painting as a ceiling fresco in the Church of Sant'Ignazio in Rome, Italy. From the correct viewing location, it gives the illusion that you could see all the way up into heaven. What tricks do artists use to trick the brain into thinking that what it's seeing is 3D and not a flat surface? Shading an object to show where light would and would not touch the object is an important technique. The area that's supposed to be furthest away from the viewer will get progressively darker the further back it's supposed to be. The rules of perspective show that objects that are supposed to be further away appear smaller, whereas the objects that are supposed to be close to the viewer appear larger. The artist has to consider the viewer's perspective as they're planning their artwork. Do they want the viewer to be looking down into the pits of hell? Or should they be looking at it as if they were actually in the pit? They may also use techniques like including their own hand or another object in the art to further reinforce the 3D illusion. In street art, they have to first decide on the viewing point. Everything will recede and elongate away from there to the vanishing point away from the viewer. Computers can now help artists to calculate the precision of where everything is supposed to go. They are still using the same techniques and scientific principles as during the Renaissance, but the calculations can just be done much quicker these days. If you viewed the image from any other angle other than the intended viewing point, the illusion is destroyed. The image will now appear as a flat, somewhat unrecognizable picture. Now that you know some of the techniques, I challenge you to be inspired. Unleash your inner artist. Go forth and create something wonderful today. You never know the talent that you have hidden within you.